Welcome to the deep dive. We take your sources, articles, notes, research, and, well, we dive deep, pulling out the key insights. It's your shortcut to getting really informed, maybe with a surprising fact or two.
And to hopefully keep you hooked along the way.
Exactly. So today we're jumping into something really striking from the ancient philosopher Epictetus. He said, "You are a little soul carrying around a corpse."
Wow. Yeah, that definitely grabs you, doesn't it?
It really does.
And you might be thinking, okay, is this going to be super morbid? But actually, no, not at all. This idea, it sounds paradoxical, but it's really about living more fully right now.
Right. It's about understanding, our true nature and how that understanding can set us profoundly free.
And Epictetus himself is such a fascinating figure to guide us.
Absolutely. I mean, born into slavery, physically injured, his leg was badly damaged, possibly by his master, left him with a limp.
Yeah, incredible hardship.
Yet he becomes this giant of philosophy. And we're drawing today from a pretty unique book, Conversations with Epictetus. It really tries to capture his direct, almost blunt voice for today. Makes it feel very personal.
It does. And look, in a world that's just full of distractions, constant pressure, information overload,
Yeah.
our mission today is kind of simple. We want to help you cut through that noise. This deep dive is hopefully a shortcut to figuring out where your real power lies.
Finding those practical insights, those maybe surprising facts to help you build that, unshakable inner peace, no matter what's going on outside.
Exactly. How to stop being, well, a prisoner. To fear, to desire, to what everyone else thinks.
And become the guard of your own soul instead. That's the goal. So let's start with his idea of true freedom, because it's probably not what most people think.
Right. Most of us, we instinctively think freedom is external. Do whatever you want, no restrictions.
Yeah, no boss, no rules.
But Epictetus, he completely flipped that. He said, no man is free who is not master of himself. That's the key. True liberty, for him, it's internal.
It's about governing your thoughts, your impulses, your judgments.
Precisely. Self-mastery.
Yeah.
And his own life is just. It's the ultimate proof.
Born a slave, physically limited, yet he could say he was never owned in my soul.
Think about that. External things, slavery, injury, he saw them as indifferent, basically outside his control and therefore not truly good or bad.
Only his response, his rational will, mattered. It's almost hard to grasp today, that level of internal freedom.
It really is. And it leads to something maybe a bit uncomfortable.
Okay.
Well, if freedom is internal, then constantly looking for approval from others. Epictetus was blunt. He called it slavery of the lowest kind.
Oof. Because you're handing over the keys, aren't you? The keys to your own peace.
You are. Letting someone else's opinion dictate how you feel about yourself.
And the Conversations book uses great examples. Socrates, right? Facing death, but refusing to compromise his principles just to, gain favor.
He drank the hemlock, as the book says, freer than his accusers ever were.
And Diogenes, too. Living simply, owning nothing but himself, telling Alexander the Great.
Just asking him to move out of his sunlight.
Incredible. Neither cared what others thought. They cared what they thought of themselves. Your internal compass has to point towards what's right, not just what's popular.
Exactly. And this tackles a common idea that self-mastery means you have to retreat from life, go live in a cave or something.
Right, avoid all the messy stuff.
But Epictetus said the opposite. Your obligations, your daily life, your responsibilities, that's the proving ground.
I love that reframe. It's like his analogy. A sword gleams on the wall, but it is only in battle that its quality is known.
Yes. So dealing with kids, work stress, social duties, they aren't getting in the way of mastering yourself.
They are the way, the chance to practice patience, courage, humility.
Well, you accept them without resentment, use them as exercise for the soul.
Okay, so this helps draw a line between freedom and just independence.
Big difference. Independence is external acting without someone's permission. Freedom, for Epictetus, is internal self-mastery.
So you could be rich, answer to no one.
Right, ruled by no state. But if you're controlled by fear or anger or appetite, you're still a slave.
Whereas someone poor, maybe with lots of duties.
But who governs their thoughts, controls their impulses, lives by reason. That person, Epictetus says, is free.
So freedom really only concerns what's truly yours to control. Your mind, your choices, your character.
Which means liberty of thought is incredibly powerful. Maybe more powerful than liberty of action.
How so?
Well, your actions can be blocked. External forces, the corpse you carry, can get in the way. But thought, disciplined, deliberate thought, that's the last bastion of a free man.
Like Socrates again, they took his physical liberty.
But his spirit, his mind, it ranged wide because his understanding was sharp, his principles firm. His freedom was choosing death over betraying those principles.
So it always comes back to what you think about a thing, this is what shapes your world.
Absolutely. Which leads us straight into maybe his most foundational teaching.
The dichotomy of control.
Exactly. His first great teaching of philosophy. Some things are up to us and some things are not. Getting this distinction right is, for him, the map to inner freedom.
Because most of our suffering comes from trying to control things we just can't.
Outcomes, other people, luck, even our health to a large degree. We pour energy into controlling the uncontrollable.
And it's so important to get that acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It's not passivity.
Right. My first reaction might be, oh, so I just roll over. No. Epictetus is clear. It's about redirecting your effort where it actually counts.
Like the sailor analogy he uses.
Perfect analogy. A sailor cannot command the sea. You can't stop the storm.
Because he can study the currents, mend his sails, and steer with intention.
Yes. If the storm hits, he works the ropes calmly. Whether the ship makes it to port isn't ultimately up to him.
But how he sails, that's always his.
So real acceptance is disciplined. It's strategic, not apathy at all.
Okay, and building on that control idea, he had some pretty strong words about desire, didn't he?
Oh, definitely. He said, indulging every desire makes you a servant to your impulses. It weakens your self-command, softens character, was his phrase.
What you desire becomes your master. That's pretty direct.
Very. And it really makes you think about our modern obsession with always wanting more. He connected it directly to virtue.
How so?
He said, a man cannot be called virtuous if he is still a slave to craving. Because virtue requires free will, right? Not just constantly compromising yourself for the next hit of gratification.
That cuts deep in today's world, always chasing the next thing, thinking that will be happiness.
When Epictetus taught happiness is not in possessing more, but in needing less. Simple but profound.
And he gave practical tips, didn't he? Like choose enough, stop eating before you're stuffed, buy things intentionally.
Little exercises in restraint. And the nuance is key, too. It's not that desiring good things like justice or wisdom is bad.
But clinging to them is the problem.
Exactly. He used the idea of the mind being like a hand. You can clench it desperately around things.
Or you can hold them lightly, ready to let go if you need to.
That lighter grip is crucial, especially when dealing with other people, their opinions, their actions. Insults.
Yes. Insults. That's a tough one.
His take is radical. Offense is not something we are given, it is something we accept. It all comes down to our interpretation.
Our judgment about the insult.
Yeah. He asks, why give strangers such power over our peace? They don't know you. Not really.
It's true. They don't know your intentions, your struggles, but it feels so personal in the moment.
Of course it does.
Yeah.
But stepping back, realizing their judgment is based on incomplete, often inaccurate information. That's freeing.
And this connects to silence, too. Is being silent when insulted weakness or strength?
For Epictetus, it could absolutely be mastery. Power held back by wisdom. He also drew a sharp line between pride and dignity.
Okay, what's the difference there?
Pride, he said, is loud, needy, comparative, brittle, always looking outside itself for validation.
Whereas dignity?
Dignity is quiet, complete, principled, steady. The dignified person thinks, essentially, my worth isn't determined by your words, it's determined by my character.
So it's about choosing generosity based on your own values, not expecting others to behave perfectly.
Right. And rising above an insult without arrogance means refusing to internalize it. You just protect your inner peace, which inevitably brings us to hardship.
The unavoidable teacher, as he saw it.
Exactly. No man escapes adversity. Hardship isn't the enemy. It's the means by which strength is forged.
Difficulties show men what they are. That's his quote, right?
That's the one. Suffering reveals so much. Like, where do you place blame? Outward, inward. How do you relate to control? What do you really value when things get tough?
Which raises that point about training for hardship, even when things are good. Why do that?
Because, as he said, comfort is not a teacher, it is a lullaby. It lulls you into complacency. You need to rehearse for the tough times when the road is smooth.
Build up that resilience, that clarity before the storm hits.
Otherwise, you're just completely unprepared. And complaining about hardship, he saw that as corrosive.
It quietly eats away at the soul.
Yeah. It distracts you from where your actual power lies, your response, and it just feeds weakness. His advice: replace complaining with honest reflection.
So don't avoid pain, use it. Let it make you stronger.
See it as a signal, a forge rather than a fire. Something that clarifies, humbles you, shows you where you need to grow patience, courage, letting go.
So hardship doesn't just show you who you are.
It builds us if we let it. That's the crucial part.
And the tool for all this building, this inner mastery, is reason.
Reason is the guide, but it's not automatic. It's like a seed placed in the soul. Its excellence is earned. It needs daily practice, cultivation.
And importantly, Stoicism, or at least Epictetus' version, isn't about denying emotion, is it?
Not at all. That's a common misconception. He said, emotion and reason are not enemies, but companions.
Ah, the horse and rider analogy.
Exactly. Emotion provides the power, the force, the energy.
But reason provides the direction, the aim. It steers the horse.
Right. And trusting reason when you're in pain is hard, because pain screams while reason speaks calmly.
But you have to listen to that calm voice to avoid despair, to actually grow from the experience.
Otherwise, distorted thinking takes over. And that, he said, enslaves us, creates these chains.
Not made of iron, but of thought. Turning lies into truth, fear into supposed wisdom.
So true freedom has to start with clear judgment, undistorted thinking.
And he gave practical ways to strengthen reason day to day.
He did. Things like examine your first impressions. Don't just accept them. Ask yourself questions, self-inquiry. Watch your words. Endure small discomforts voluntarily. Read with purpose. Be present. Choose your company wisely. Associate with people who value wisdom. Practice detachment from externals. And always try to act on principle, not just impulse.
That's quite a list. It really frames philosophy as an active practice.
Absolutely. Which leads to the idea of the philosopher in action, not just talking about it.
The true philosopher taught not from a platform, but from his conduct.
Yes. He really challenged the idea of teaching philosophy if you weren't living it. Because words, when divorced from life, become hollow.
Like Socrates, again, his life was the teaching, ultimately.
Embodying wisdom isn't something you claim. It's a way of being, lived consistently.
So how do you teach people who maybe don't want to be taught?
Gently, quietly. By example, like a tree just offering shade, not shouting demands.
Nice. So philosophy has this dual nature, a private journey, but with public consequences.
Exactly. It's an inner struggle, a private path. But the fruits of that struggle, your character, your actions, ripple outward. If philosophy cannot be lived in the marketplace,
then it is not worthy of the name. Makes sense.
It distinguishes the true philosopher from the mere speaker of wise words. One lives it, the other just talks about it.
Philosophy as the art of living rightly.
That's it. And this art includes confronting the big things, fate and death.
Which, again, he didn't see as morbid topics. They were clarifying. It circles back to that opening line.
You are a little soul carrying around a corpse. He wanted us to prepare for death, but not in a morbid way.
How? How do you do that?
By seeing death not as some terrifying end, but as a kind of measure, something that purifies life, forces you to focus on what truly matters now.
Like the musician analogy.
Yeah, a musician doesn't fear the end of the song if they know they played it well.
Okay. And he thought the fear of death was really a fear of meaninglessness.
Largely, yes, rooted in that fear. And for him, true meaning wasn't about legacy or external achievements. It was about living virtuously, moment by moment.
So what did he mean by to die in harmony with nature?
Not choosing when or how, but meeting it whenever it comes with acceptance, without fighting, without desperately clinging, seeing it as completion, not interruption.
Death is not the interruption of life, but its completion.
Powerful. And remembering death actually helps us live better. It acts like a compass.
Sharpening focus, revealing what matters.
Yeah, exactly. Inspiring you to live deliberately. Not in haste, but in fullness, right here, right now.
And accepting fate, the things we can't control, that leads to freedom, not just resignation.
Yes. Fate is just the order of things, the external reality. Accepting it frees up all your energy to focus on your response, the one thing you can control.
Like the sailor again, adjusting the sails to the wind you're given.
You adjust to it, and you may yet reach your destination, because you're working with reality, not against it.
Which brings us to that idea. Living today as if it were your last?
Which sounds grim, maybe, but it's not meant to be. It's meant to make life vivid, urgent in a good way.
An urgency to practice virtue, to be present.
Precisely. Anchoring you firmly in this moment, the only one you ever truly have.
Wow. What an incredible distillation of Epictetus's wisdom. As we wrap up, it just feels so relevant, doesn't it?
Absolutely. His core message, the battle is internal, the true fortress is your mind. It just cuts across centuries.
Especially today, in a world selling ease as peace, entertainment as happiness.
Distraction is meaning. These ancient truths feel like an unchanging compass.
And the task isn't overwhelming. You don't have to fix everything out there.
No. As Epictetus would say, your job is to tend to your corner.
If the world is unkind, you be kind. If things feel chaotic, slow your breathing.
The noise is out there, yes, but
Yeah.
he reminds us, it need not be within you.
So let's leave everyone with a final thought, a challenge really, straight from Epictetus in the Conversations source.
Modern life will offer you ease and call it peace. It will offer you entertainment and call it happiness. It will offer you distraction and call it meaning. Be watchful.
Do not accept the label without testing the substance. Ask, does this strengthen my soul? Does it bring me closer to wisdom, justice, courage, or self-control?
If not, why consume it?
I think he believed that in asking that question, constantly examining, that's where you find it. The ultimate freedom, the ability to be truly yourself no matter what.